The Lighthouse, Part 2. A massive wave slams into the lighthouse. The waters churn around Abner, swirling in their inky blackness, attempting to bury him. The water forces Abner to his knees. He grabs at the rails in desperation, his fingers wrapping around their steel. In the depths of the wave, a mighty monster, a leviathan, begins to rise out of the water. Its tentacle-covered form blocks out the rain and the storm, reaching out impressively far. Inky eyes stare with blank depths at Abner as it rises. Lightning flashes, illuminating the massive monstrous form. Abner, in a shaky voice, asks, "What are you?" The creature responds in the deepest guttural Leviathanian. Abner scutters back, slamming his back against the glass. He struggles to try to find the door to escape. Shakily he asks, "What are you?" The creature surges closer, driving the water with it, and in a deep, guttural voice, it responds, "Earthborn, I am Yam Tannen. Do you fear me?" A moment passes as Abner stands, frozen in fear, locked in complete shock. Yam Tannen leans in and growls deeply, "Earthborn." Shocked by the sudden statement, Abner manages to stutter, Yes, I fear the creatures of the ocean, the terrors of the deep, the monsters that can arise." Yam Tannen leans back into the wave that wraps around him, his voice grinding with the ocean. The ostium has been opened by those who can open it. The way is no longer shut, and can only be shut by those who can shut it. We rise, Yam Tannen finishes. The light from the lighthouse flashes past Yam Tannen, who shudders violently and slinks away from the light, and then surges forward suddenly, slamming full force into the lighthouse, attempting to wrap around it. His gaze, inky and black, stares. Water surges around, washing up and wrapping around the lighthouse, churning. Abner, swept up, gasps for air, struggling against the wall of water as it rushes past him. He claws at the grate of the floor, his fingers trying to find any hold to keep him from being swept away. At last he grabs and holds. The water recedes, and he lays there on the floor. A moment passes, and the light circles again. Abner struggles against the wind and the driving rain. Thunder rattles around him as lightning illuminates the sky. He looks out at the towering and churning waves and yells, "Yam Tannen! Yam Tannen!" The light flashes again as the waves around churn and slam into the lighthouse, and Abner is nearly buried. He struggles again not to be swept away. The water recedes, leaving him there, wet and cold, kneeling in the pounding rain. "It's," Abner begins. He looks out. "Nothing's there," Abner exclaims. "Nothing's here," he continues. Abner struggles and looks around, finds the door, slides inside and looks out through the glass, the rain pounding on it, leaving streaks, lightning flashing outside, and the thunder rattling it. Under his breath, "Yam Tannen." A massive wave rises in the distance, and he watches. "Yam Tannen," he says again, as the wave crushes into the lighthouse, wrapping it and burying the full lighthouse in the water. The lighthouse stands strong against the assault, but Abner is knocked down the stairs in the torrent of water rushing through the door. He tumbles, grasping at anything he can, his hands slipping as he falls. Sparks fly all about the room, and the lights wink out. Illuminaria quickly whispers, "No!" In the dark blackness, Abner's feet can be heard as he's shuffling around. Unable to see, he moves cautiously. A moment passes as he staggers around in the dark. In the back of his head, Jima can be heard whispering, "It's so dark, Abner." Abner struggles, and you can hear a box being shuffled around as he finally lights a match, and light springs forth in the room. Something out of the corner of his eye skitters down the stairs. Startled, Abner stumbles backwards, and in alarm he exclaims, "What is that? I saw something. I know I saw something over there." He points to the stairs leading down. The match goes out, and in the darkness again, Abner struggles to light another one. A moment later, the flame ignites, and light shines in the room. He shakes his head as he looks around, finding the damaged electrical wires. Jima, in the back of his head, is complaining, saying, "Hurry! The lights have been out too long now." Abner, in frustration, responds, "I'm doing the best I can," he says, as he lights a candle and fumbles with the wires. Continuing, Abner goes on, "It's old and dark. The wires, they're frail and they're failing." Suddenly, electricity arcs between his fingers and he is violently shocked. Staggering back, he returns to the work. "I can fix this," he says. "Just give me a damn minute." Abner wipes the sweat and blood from his brow and struggles with the repairs. More sparks as he connects the wires. The lights flicker, and then they hold steadily on. Abner blows out the candle and looks about the room. "See," Abner says, "I fixed it. It's all fixed now. The lights are on." Suddenly, a torrent of water rushes down the stairs as a wave crashes from above. "Damn!" Abner exclaims. "The doors are open." Scuttling noises below can be heard, but Abner ignores them and heads straight up the stairs, fighting against the water rushing down them. One step at a time he climbs, grabbing the rails and pulling himself forward. Abner reaches the top. He sees the open door and rushes to it, fighting against the wind and rain, when a massive wave hits and a wall of water slams into the glass, just as the light passes. Inside the water, inky eyes stare at Abner as Yam Tannen slides past and the water rushes away along with Yam Tannen. Abner slams the door, closes the latch and locks it. Completely exhausted and breathless, he slides down the wall and sits. In the back of his mind, Jima quietly says, "Leviathan are eternals of the deep. Many of my stones were young when they prowled the waters of this world. It's been ages since they were awakened." Abner looks back over his shoulder at the churning water, the flashing lightning, and the driving rain. "This storm must have done it," he said. "It must have done something. Maybe a wave moved something, or the currents opened something. I don't know. But I know this storm has something to do with it," Abner finishes. Abner checks his head with his hand, seeing that it is wet with red blood. "Damn it, I'm bleeding again," exclaims Abner. Abner stands and slowly makes his way down the stairs. When he enters into the upper service room below, he looks at the wet repair and sees that it's still good and holding. He continues down to the next room, the upper storeroom, where he sees the stack of wet boxes and crates. Slowly he makes his way down the next set of stairs and enters into his bedroom. He goes straight to the mirror and examines the gash in his head. Blood is oozing out of it and running down the side of his face. He grabs the first aid kit. Slowly he cleans the gash, holds it together, and bandages it. He looks down at his wet bandage on his hand. "Damn it," he says. Slowly he takes off the bandage, cleans his hand again, and rebandages it. "This night's not going well," Abner says. He walks over to the window and looks at the rolling walls of water as they slam the coast and the rocks below. Lightning flashes and thunder rumbles. This isn't like the storms we've seen before, Abner says. It's not right. Thunder rolls in the distance. It's unnatural,